Hello and welcome, John Kromm here from the Kromm Real Estate team at Harcourts, the Garner Group, and today I am going to be your tour guide on 5 key areas of Bend. What's that? What's the best area to live in, you ask? Well, that's going to be up to you, your tastes, your budget, and probably a whole bunch of other intangibles that I don't know about you yet. But what I can do is take you on a quick tour around town to show you the different areas. So stay tuned. Now, before we get going here, let's go ahead and talk about how we split up Bend into the different sections. Highway 97 runs north and south through the middle of town, which is a very easy to understand divider between the east side and the west side. Greenwood Avenue and sort of Colorado Avenue, or basically or loosely the east-west dividing roads that separate the north side from the south side. It's not exact, there's a few straggler roads that kick off here and there that don't exactly work out, but I think you get the idea. Now we're going to go ahead and start with the old Bend and kind of River West areas of Bend. Basically, this is just downtown Bend. Now, Bend was established in 1904, and it was primarily a timber and mill town. So all of the homes in that downtown area are basically what we call mill homes. They're very small, very old, because that's where all the mill workers lived at the time. Like I said, these homes are small and old, around 800 to 900 square feet, and a lot of times you can find mill houses that are over 100 years old. Now, the good news is these homes are on larger size lots and they're obviously close to everything. The downside is that these homes are usually in need of fairly substantial remodeling. But you can find really, really nice redone homes in the downtown corridor. In fact, in this historic district of downtown, there's gorgeous homes, as you can see here, along Mirror Pond and in the heart of downtown. Moving north, we get to my favorite side of town, the Northeast. This side of town is arguably the most underrated part of town. Most of the neighborhoods over here are smaller in size with smaller homes that are more modest and more affordable. The main roadways over here are Butler Market, Empire, and 15th Street. In fact, this is probably the most quiet part of town, I'd say. There's not a lot of tourist traffic, and there's a high concentration of just residents that live here. Not to mention, but we will, that the Northeast boasts one of the largest parks that we have here in Bend, Pine Nursery. A con is that there isn't a whole lot of dining or shopping areas in the Northeast side of town. However, that's starting to change with the recent addition of 10 Barrel Brewery's Eastside location, as well as a lot of shops and dining that is popping up near the hospital. That's right, the Northeast side of town does get to claim that they've got the hospital and most of the other medical facilities in town. Oh, and I should mention Petrosa, which is a brand new neighborhood coming up on the Northeast side of town that's going to be home to almost 1,100 residences. But I don't really have time for that, so I'll just say shh. Again, as I said, the Northeast side of town is probably one of the more affordable sides of town, with the average sales price being at $452,000, with the median price of $419,000. All right, Northwest. Nestled within the giant old-growth ponderosa pines, which provide shade and beauty to the entire area, the Northwest side of town is easily the most popular side of town. Key areas include Aubrey Butte, Northwest Crossing, and actually much of that downtown area that we talked about before would also be considered in Northwest Bend. Mount Washington Drive, Newport Avenue, and Galveston Corridor are the 3 different roads that you're going to hear mostly about in the Northwest side. People love the Northwest because of the proximity to the dining, shopping, everything else that's in Bend, and also it has the quickest access to the Cascade Lakes Mountain Highway, which will get you up there to the lakes and the mountains and so on and so forth. Because of the history of Bend, homes that you're going to find on the Northwest are either going to be really old or really, really new and absolutely stunning. Some cons, though, are that the West actually can be really crowded with tourists from time to time. Well, during touristy season. The West Side also features 2 colleges, COCC and the new OSU Cascades, which is only going to increase traffic flow to this side of town. Home prices are easily the highest here in the Northwest, thanks in part to some especially affluent communities such as Broken Top, Aubrey Glen, and Northwest Crossing. The average sales price is $853,000 with a median price of $750,000. Southeast. The southeast side of town is very similar to the northeast side of town, actually. Lots of older neighborhoods, single-family neighborhoods, mixed with a good number of newer infill single-family neighborhoods. There's not a lot of dining and shopping options. but there is a large number of actual residences, so a lot of people live down in the southeast side of town. There's also not as many tourists because there's not as many of the amenities that the tourists are looking for, so it's a nice quiet side of town. The price point is lower here compared to the west sides of town, but I think that for the most part, the quality of the homes are maybe even a step up from the northeast side of town. The major roadways here in the southeast are going to be 15th and 27th, which run north-south, and Reed Market and Murphy, which run east-west. The great thing though is that there's some really nice newer neighborhoods here on the southeast side of town that have much of the same quality and features of the west side neighborhoods, but at an east side price point. Stone Creek, the Bridges, and Hidden Hills are just a couple of the many great neighborhoods to look into. The southeast is also home to Bend's newest, baddest, maybe biggest park called Alpenglow Park. It actually hasn't even finished yet, but it's currently under construction. It's going to be 37 acres and it's going to have something for everybody, from dog parks to dog agility courses to kids playgrounds, kids climbing walls, a splash pad, turf fields, and tons of natural escape areas for trails and exploration. Prices in the southeast side are just a step above the northeast side. Average price point is $494 with a median price of $427. Southwest. Now, the Southwest is another highly underrated side of town, I would say. It's on the west side, so the prices are a little higher than you're going to get on the east, but it's not quite like the Northwest. But you have the abundance of natural beauty that comes along with all of the old growth ponderosas that are on the southwest side of town. And one thing that cannot be beaten by any other sides of town is that you've got the Deschutes River and the Deschutes River Trail, which provides access to thousands and thousands of people who want to get out and explore and hike along the Deschutes River. Brookswood Boulevard in that corridor is where all of the action is east of the river, and Southwest Century Drive is where all the action is on the west side of the river, which also actually turns into Cascade Lakes Highway, which takes you on back to Bachelor. Again, the ponderosa pines provide lots of shade and beauty to the southwest side of town, and a lot of pine needles. I mean, bags and bags of pine needles. Being on the west side again, there's tons of great shopping and dining options. The Old Mill is an actual outdoor mall, which was developed from the original timber mills from 100 years ago, and is a great place to spend some time shopping, dining, or even just walking right along the Deschutes River. Price points on the south side of town range from $774,000 as an average to a median of $609,000. And there you have it. If you are thinking about moving to Bend, be sure to contact us. Our contact information is in the description below, and you can also check out some of the other two videos that are appearing right here to my right, to your left. Or if you're a local, what are some of your top places to live in Bend? Go ahead and leave them in the comment section below, because you know, it helps the, gosh, I'm so tired of hearing that word, algorithm. Everything's an algorithm these days. Nah, but seriously, if you got something out of this, be sure to smash the like button and consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any of the action in the future. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you over in the next video.